This is our time and energy. Money is just a store of value. It's a container for your economic time and energy. That's it. That's the definition of money. Money is an economic container for your time and energy. That's all it is. We want a finite container because our time is finite. So why would I spend my finite time and trade it for an infinite asset, or an infinite liability, I should say, not an asset? Dollars aren't blades of grass, grains of sand. Those are all infinite. Dollars, peso, yen, bolivar, those are all infinite. So why? They can just print more of it. Why would I trade my finite time, my finite asset, for an infinite liability? That makes no sense. As a trader, as an investor, as a sane adult, you wouldn't make that trade when you really break it down and look at it. So why do we do this every day? Why are we? Because we're just told that's okay, because we are just used to it, because that's what mom and dad did, because that's what our grandparents did. Not anymore. People are waking up and realizing we need to make the right trade for ourselves. We need to have a container that was great for thousands of years. We had gold and silver. It had a small inflation rate, 1 or 2%, and that was fine. That's all we had. That's the best we had. And the system would keep breaking. We'd have to, go to war, and we'd have to fix it. Well, now we went to the fiat standards, and we have all these fiat currencies. The world reserve currency is the dollar, so they're all backed up by the dollar, but the dollar is backed up by nothing. So, I guess, like I said earlier, coming full circle though, it's backed up by the confidence of everyone using it. It's backed up by the confidence that the American worker is going to get up and go to work tomorrow and pay off those taxes and keep the system running, and not leave the system and say, I'm in a debt-based enslavement camp, a slavery system. What am I doing? Why are we selling these bonds and accruing more and more debt, 31.5 trillion right now? So why do we keep doing this? That's a confidence game. So when that game's up, that's what it's backed by. So this is your time and energy right here. You go to work, your time and energy, your little bucket, and your little whatever you call these things, you pour it into your bucket. Well, in an inflationary world with a fiat currency, if you save this on your balance sheet, a liability thinking it's an asset, you have a little hole. It's called inflation. You have a little hole, and all your time and energy is leaked out through the side through direct taxation and indirect taxation, inflation. So it just gets leaked out, and then you wonder why you can't retire. You wonder why we have cost of living adjustments, and the average person can't retire, and the average person can't afford health care, and they go bankrupt, and the average marriage ends in divorce over money. You wonder all these things. Well, that's why. Because the average person can't see the problem, because they broke the currency, and they're stealing your time and energy. They're stealing it from you quietly and silently, and you do not know. This is why governments always opt for inflation and printing currency, because it's a lot easier than going indirectly. It's a lot easier than going to the actual voter and saying, hey, we need to tax you more because we screwed up. We spent too much. That doesn't go over very well, right? So we have the answer now, Bitcoin. You pour your time and energy here into a finite container. Now there's only 21 million. There's no inflation rate. There's only going to be 21 million. Ever. There's going to be less than that, but there's only 21 million. So everything you do in your life has a measuring stick now. You can divide it by 21 million. You actually have a sound measuring stick. It's like being in 7th grade science class and having a control experiment. You have a control experiment you can measure everything by, and Bitcoin is that answer. It's the finite container, the perfect finite container with no holes in it, so it keeps accruing value and purchasing power over time as you keep adding your time and energy, and as people around the world keep adding their time and energy into Bitcoin, your value, your purchasing power, your assets keep purchasing you and buying you more and more goods and services. That's what we want in the day. We want freedom. We want goods and services. We don't want paper fugazis. We don't care about money or currency at the end of the day. That's not what we care about. We care about freedom. And does our time and energy buy us something? Does our trade-off actually pay off? That's it, right? Does our trade-off pay off? So Bitcoin is that finite container. It actually gives us that perfect trade for humanity. Finite asset for a finite time trade. That's it. This is the trade we're in now. This is why we have so many problems, wars, division, hate, polarization. People are ticked off because they don't understand that currency is broken by the elites, by the bankers at the top, by the people running the system, and they constantly have their time and energy poured in this bucket that has a hole with inflation in it. That game is coming to an end. So I appreciate your time and energy. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Please share this far and wide, because this is the answer. This is the explanation for full reserve and fractional reserve and the FDIC and what they're doing. This is the secret that FDIC and the central banks, they do not want you to know. No one wants you to know this, that is at the top. A lot of them don't even know it. They don't even know that this was going on. A lot of them have no idea. But they've all been growing up in the system. We've all grown up in the system, and we all need to know the truth, because the truth will set you free, and the truth will create massive abundance and massive flourishing of humanity and going to the next level of human society if we so let it. If we get the truth out, if we question everything with boldness. This is not financial advice, this is freedom advice. Please share this far and wide. We need the truth to be out there and overwhelm the system, and the algorithm hates truth. We have to fix this and turn this. We all feel it inside, and change is coming. Let's be a part of that change. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.